How has been your day? How was the weekend? I hope we took our time to have fun as much as practice and work, because that's what we do. Okay. So, my name is Joy Agagwu, and please do us a favor. When you're coming into the class, have yourself muted. Okay, have your video on. Do the needful so we can have a great time studying together. Yes, we sent out a task in the course of the week, and a few persons did the task and they sent their work in. I have seen your scores and I've noted your issues as well. I think some persons tried to identify areas where they need help. Janet, Chiamaka, Omolola, I don't know what you're doing to your phone. Your videos are not on. I will not be saying it. I won't let you distract me in this class anymore. Please, if you can't have your video on for whatever reason, just go ahead and watch from YouTube. Okay, if you come into the class as much as possible, please obey the ground rules. That is one good thing to do. Obey the ground rules, obey instructions, and we will have a great time. So reading, IELTS reading. IELTS reading. Last week we started something on IELTS reading, and we'll be concluding in that which we have started today. We have done some tips, some of the question types, and we will continue from where we stopped. Meanwhile, some of you have identified areas where you need help.
You understand?
Someone talked about her need for timing, for help in timing. She needs help in timing. Well, I can't help you much in timing because it's almost entirely up to you. Okay? You are the only one who can help yourself when it comes to timing yourself for your work. And the way you can do it is to keep practicing. If you don't practice, you won't improve. All right? Set alarm. Be conscious. For instance, if there are 4 sections in the IELTS exam or 5 sections in the IELTS exam, as you're doing your reading practice, divide your 1 hour into 4 or 5, depending on how many sections you have. Set your alarm in such a way that you are to leave a session a minute before time or 2 minutes before time. This is what I did, and I think I can conclude that it helped me, so it may help you as well. Set it to leave, to make you leave or to come off, to ring 2 or 3 minutes before the time to leave that session, so that in your subconsciousness, you are aware that I have spent enough time here, I need to move to the next one. That way, you are helping yourself to stick to time. You are helping yourself to build your speed as well. Because when you're practicing and you know that you're practicing with time, you will be very, very conscious. Secondly, if you go to IELTS Zone on YouTube to practice their reading, you will discover that it is playing. So when it is time, the thing will move to another one. That way, you won't have too much time to spend on a particular session. IELTS Career Zone, you can do their practices. They send in practices every day. I used it. The questions may not be what you want, but it can help your practice. It can help you to improve on your speed. because it is a timed session kind of something. All right. So with that said, we will move straight to the tip. Someone said where she has problem is matching heading. We have done matching heading before. Okay, we have done matching heading. We have given you tips on matching heading before. So what is the problem with matching heading? Matching heading is the type of question that will test your ability to understand the main idea of each paragraph. I explained this using our IELTS writing as an example. You are expected to read the paragraph and give it a heading, give it a topic, give it a name. When you are reading a paragraph, what is the main idea of the entire paragraph? Here, they are not asking you questions about the words, the keywords there, no. They are asking you the question to identify what is this paragraph talking about. So, how do you identify this? I said, these are the kind of questions that you should do first. First of all, here, you are not expected to read every word because it will take too long. In this kind of question, you are only expected to understand the main idea of each paragraph. And a good way to do this is to read the first two sentences and the last two sentences of the paragraph. You will see that it will briefly recap the idea in that paragraph. That way, you get your answers on time and more correctly too. Now, if in matching heading you find out that there are words that you don't understand about this, I said you should not worry about the words. Your concern is about what? The whole paragraph and not the keywords that are there. Also, do not read too quickly. Well, some people will tell you to read, you must finish and all that. Yes, I'm telling you, you must finish, but there's no need for you to read too quickly and miss out your answer. Then you say you have finished when you have all the wrong answers written down. If you don't understand what the topic is talking about, please don't worry. It's just a reading text. It's not a test of your knowledge about that particular topic. It's just a reading text. So please do not look at the headings first. In matching heading, don't look at the headings first. The headings are those topics or whatever that they have written, maybe by the side or below. It's usually by the side. Okay? Do yourself a favor. Don't look at the headings first. Don't look at the headings first. Look at the paragraph in your head. Have a premonition, okay? Have an idea of what the heading should look like. That way, you are able to quickly identify this heading when you see them. All right? You identify the headings when you see them if you don't look at them first. But if you look at them first, in your brain, you will be thinking, okay, is it this one? Is it that one? And at the end, you will miss the essence. You will miss the essence. So please, for your matching heading, do not look at the headings first. All right? What am I saying? If you see matching heading questions, do it first. Don't look at the headings first. Read the first two and the last two sentences. It may even be the first one and the last two, but for safety purpose, excuse me, read the first two and the last two. Only identify keywords within each heading and not in the paragraphs. Within the headings, identify keywords. There are some headings that are very, very obvious. Match them first if you have a heading that is obvious. Now, if you have two or three similar headings for one particular paragraph, please bring them side by side with the paragraph. Try to see reasons why all of them are wrong and all of them are correct. There's usually a phrase, there's usually a word, there's usually a like an adjective, okay, that has qualified something in that heading that made it wrong or right. So you need to look out for that. If you still cannot pick out a heading after all of this, don't waste too much time. Go to the next question. Usually by the time you are done answering the rest, the headings will always show. Okay? We also did matching information, which is next to matching heading as well. In matching information, what is testing is your ability to recognize statements. Okay? The statements could be reasons, descriptions, summaries, whatever it is, does not matter. It could be a fact, it could be an explanation, it could be a definition of something, all right, by someone. You do not need to understand what the whole paragraph is about. Just find specific information in the paragraphs and match them to the statement. The answer will be contained in maybe a whole phrase or sentence rather than a single word. So matching information is more of a phrase kind of answer, phrasal kind of answer, and maybe sentences, not usually single words. Okay? Wow. For your matching heading and matching information, you will have more headings than you need. You have more words than you need. So don't panic when you don't use all of them. Now, you need to be able to skim the reading text to get the general meaning of the paragraph. So if you are doing your matching heading first, it would have helped you to skim through and get the general meaning of the paragraph, because matching information will require you taking a more detailed look at these paragraphs, at the context, at the text, at the passage. You will need to have a more detailed knowledge of what is in there in that paragraph. So doing it last is the best. You need to do this last. Do matching information first, matching heading first, sorry, then do matching information last. This is because in the course of you answering the other questions that are related to that text, you would have had a better understanding, you would have had a more detailed look at this passage. So coming in to answer the questions that have to do with matching information, you have a better knowledge of what it is, and your answers are seen easier than when you are doing it first. So do it last. Do it last, okay? Do it last. Now, you need to be very careful. Look for names, okay? Take special notice of names, okay? Numbers, percentages, definitions, special definitions. Take very careful note of them, all right? Be aware that there may be synonyms as well. We can't talk about the use of synonyms. We cannot overemphasize the use of synonyms and paraphrases in IELTS exam, either in your speaking, in your writing, in listening, and in reading. You are expected to make use of this when you speak and when you write, and you are expected to look out for them when you listen and you read. When you listen and read, your answers are most likely to come with synonyms than word for word, than exact same word that you will find in the text. All right? So yes, what will be your strategy? You need to read these instructions very, very carefully. The last test we did, many of you will not score high marks because you did not listen to the instruction. You did not read the instructions carefully and you never adhered to them. When you make any mistake, a mistake of one letter can cost you a band. That's the truth. Because if you needed just 1 mark for you to score 36 or 34, where you are expected to have a band 7, you will end up with a band 6.5. And at the end of the day, if you are a nurse, you can't do anything with a band 6.5. Read the questions first. Read the questions first. Think about synonyms and how you could paraphrase the statements in your own words. This will help you to identify the answer. Saying each statement in your own words will help you to do that. Skim through the reading text to try to understand the general meaning of the text. So if you had done the matching heading first, it would have helped you to skim through the reading text already. Scan the text paragraphs that you think will contain the answer for your synonym. You need to scan for synonyms. Don't scan for exact same word. If you find a possible answer, underline it, then compare it to what the answer should be. Then check back with the question statement, mark the answer if it is correct. If it is not correct, please move to the next paragraph. That way you will be able to solve your problems. Any question? No questions. We'll continue. Any question? We did this last week. I just explained it for the people that had issues in them when they did the reading assignments that I sent. Any question? No question. So today we are going to move to labeling of diagrams. Labeling of diagrams. Okay. Labeling of diagrams. In your IELTS reading test, you will find labeling of diagram. For some, you may not find, but if you practice a lot, you will find labeling of diagrams. There are usually three kinds of diagrams that you might get. There's a technical drawing of maybe machines or inventions, okay? Something that is from the natural world, or a design or a plan. Now, when you see labeling of diagrams, there are certain problems that are associated with it. One of the major challenges is the fact that we focus too much on the diagram. We focus too much on the diagram. Just give me a minute. I need to put on a sweater. I was thinking it's warm, but it's quite cold now. Some of us are cold-blooded, even with the heaters on, but we still catch cold, and the temperature is, we're almost in winter, so it's very cold out here. If you are coming to the UK, be prepared. All right, so labeling of a diagram, I was trying to explain that one of the problems or challenges that we have with this kind of question type is the fact that we look at the diagram and we want to understand the diagram. So we focus too much on the diagram. At the end of the day, unfamiliar diagrams will make you panic, okay? And while you panic, you are losing time because you are not coordinated to do your work or to continue. Now, I want you to understand that it's not a test of your technical knowledge, it's just a test of your reading skills. You should try as much as possible to understand generally what is happening in the diagram, okay? Just try to understand what is happening in the diagram, and then the relationship between the text and the diagram should be of paramount importance to you. Just a little bit of the understanding of what's happening there, and then relate it to your reading test. That should be very, very important to you. Another big problem is when we fail to locate the paragraphs that contain the answers, okay, quickly. So we keep reading and reading and reading over and over again. We also lose marks in this kind of section because we write the number of words wrongly, the wrong number of words. There are always instructions when it comes to labeling of a diagram or anything at all. There are instructions. The moment we fail to adhere to these instructions, we lose mark. So what do? You check how many words you are supposed to write. It will usually tell you in the question. Okay, it will say in not more than 1 or 2 words, or in not more than 2 or 3 words, and or a number. Now, when they say in not more than 1 or 2 words, it means that you can write 1 word, you can write 2 words, but you can't write more than 2. So your answer may be 1 word, your answer may be 2 words, but your answer can never be 3 words. Okay? Your answer can never be 3 words. It's either 1 word, 2 words. That is it. You can't write 3 words. So if you think that you are more correct than everybody and you go ahead to write more than 1 word, to write more than 2 words as instructed, you miss the answer. You lose, and then you may not be able to make the band that you want to make. All right? Now, you need to identify also the type of word that is expected. Is it a noun or a verb? Is it an adjective that you need? Because this is the thing that will help you to identify the correct answer from the passage. Okay? Now, unfortunately, the answers do not always come in the same order that the paragraphs are arranged. So you may need to go back and forth. And remember that in going back and forth already, you are, like you are losing time. So you need to be very, very time conscious in these kind of questions as well. When you see your labeling of a diagram, there may be some questions, some answers that are very obvious. Do the very easy ones first. You are most likely to get them correctly. And then if you can, if you can, go ahead with the other ones. If you can't, move on first, then come back to them. Because you will find out that you have maybe 10 questions in a session, and then number 3 question is taking so much time. You are trying to understand what that thing is saying. You are reading, going back and forth, trying to get the answer. Meanwhile, number 4, 5, 6 are very easy. At the end of the day, if you spend all the time on number 3, and then number 4, 5, 6 that are easy, which would have given you, more marks, you end up not doing them. You discover that you lose marks for even the easy questions. So what do? As soon as you get your question papers, thank God there's nothing like don't do number 1 first, go and do number 2 first. They are not saying don't jump in between. There's no instruction like that. You can even go to number 40 and start from there. It's none of anybody's business. As long as you finish, that's all. So you should go through them. Do what you can. First of all, do in fact, from number 1 to number 40, do the easy questions first. Answer them first, then come back to the ones that are tough so that you can have extra time in your hand instead of spending and wasting so much time on the difficult questions first when you have easier ones that you would have dealt with and scored more marks. Now, when you are reading this passage, you are reading the paragraph, try to predict the answer before you read the text. When you see your diagram, try to predict the answer first before you now continue with your reading. That way, you are going to find the answers more easily. So what have I been blabbing? Check how many words you can write. Read the instructions carefully. Study the diagram. Just understand the general meaning of what is happening there, but don't spend too much time doing this. If you see any labels or any keywords, words that are either underlined or written in italics, please, you take note of those words because you will need to know what they are. Identify the type of words that you need and try to predict your answers. Okay, scan the passage, scan it and identify where the information is located. Read in more detail to find the answer. Please and please and please, very importantly, check your spellings. If you spell wrongly, even though it's the correct word that you were trying to write, I tell you the truth, you will fail it. They don't joke with spellings here. IELTS exam, generally, they do not joke with spellings. So please check your spellings when you do your IELTS exams. Any question on labeling of a diagram? Yes, ma'am. Lara, Vera, you can unmute.
My question is, can you hear me, ma? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, ma?
Yes, I can hear you.
My question is, that you gave us to us an assignment, the answers were in capital letters. Are we supposed to write all the answers in capital letters?
The answers were in capital letter because they chose to use capital letter. You don't mix them up. You can choose to write in small letters and it should be small letters all through. You can choose to write in capital letters and it should be capital letters all through. I will still send more. When I send more, you will find out that there are some that they use small lower cases. Okay, so you need to make a choice of whether to use lower cases or upper cases. Any other question?
Yeah. Hello, can you hear me? I have a question, please.
Sorry,
from
you are more likely to be taken out of my class if your video is off. I won't warn you again. I'll just say, I keep repeating it because there are some people just coming for the first time. But even if you are coming for the first time, you should have read the instruction that you should have your video on. What is wrong with us? Please go ahead with your question.
Yes, as regard the case to use, be it lower or upper case. From YouTube, I downloaded a tutorial, and the lady said when writing names that we can start with capital letter, then the rest in lower cases. As for names and proper nouns.
Okay. As far as I am concerned,
okay,
whatever you read or listen for in other people is not a problem at all, as long as it's the writing and it gives you your band. That's all I'm after. If you think that you want to do that, go ahead. But I think it's safer to choose one of them and use it all through. This is because even here, sometimes they write our names all through in lower cases. Even when you are filling some of their forms, there's no room for you to change to upper or lower. It comes preformed and you just go ahead and you fill, and it is in lower cases. I don't think they give any recognition to that. But if you think it's okay for you, go ahead and do it. If you ask for my advice, I will tell you to choose either to use lowercase or uppercase. Don't mix them up. I used lowercase all through and I passed. My friend used uppercase all through because she feels that her handwriting comes out finer or more beautiful when she uses uppercase. So she used uppercase all through and she passed. As a matter of fact, she landed in the UK yesterday and she's self-isolating for 14 days before I can even see her, even though we are working in the same hospital. I don't want to put her in trouble. If not, I would have gone there today and said, damn them. But here you must keep to their laws and rules. 3 people were sent back from a hospital here in the UK to Nigeria because they had visitors when they were supposed to be self-isolating. 2 of them. 1 of them went out to shop when she was supposed to be self-isolating. You have all the time to shop when you are out. You can go and buy the whole textbook, no problem. Just adhere to their instructions. So when they give you instructions, I'm just trying to explain that they take it really seriously here. Please, if you want to use uppercase, use uppercase all through. If you want to use lowercase, use lowercase all through. If you want to do a mixture, I didn't say that. Because I've not seen anybody that used a combination and said I passed or failed. So I can't prove that one. It's what I know that I can prove, okay? All right. Any other question, please? Some people raised their hands. Let's see who was raising hands. Another question. Has your questions been answered? Yeah?
Hello, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Ibrahim. How are you? Please
Fine,
don't
thank
say
you, ma'am.
anything about your writing. Please.
No problem, ma'am. Okay, ma'am, I want to ask, is it possible we review the reading test we did?
Yes,
Because
we will do it.
I feel there are some things that are not
They are not correct.
Yes.
We will review it.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Olanike, I'll take you out of my class without further warning. So, having said that, if there are no further questions on labeling of a diagram, we move to sentence completion. Sentence completion. In sentence completion kind of questions, here you're giving, a number of sentences, but with gaps in between them. So you complete the sentences with words from the reading text. Now, if they want you to use the exact same word from the reading text, they will state it. If they don't state it, please be on the lookout for synonyms. These questions are vocabulary tests because at the end of the day, your sentences must make sense grammatically. If any instruction says no more than 2 words from the text for each answer, it means that we can write 2, we can write 1. We can write highest 2 only. If you write more than that, you get the answer wrong. Also, note that when it says from the text, it means that we can't change the words from the text. It means that we need to use the exact same words from the text. The word limit, whether we should use words from the text or not, they are the major things that pose, challenges in sentence completion. Be very, very much aware of paraphrasing and synonyms. What is synonyms? Synonyms are words that are nearest in meaning or have the exact same meaning with the given words. Paraphrasing is a way of saying a statement, rephrasing it or saying the sentence using your own words, okay, but maintaining the meaning of that sentence or statement. You paraphrase using synonyms. That is why paraphrasing and synonyms go hand in hand, because your use of synonyms is paraphrasing. Okay? Now, we have some issues when it comes to sentence completion. Many of the passages are long, and having to read them sometimes, you think that you will not meet up. People try to meet, to write the exact same word when they have not been asked to use the exact same word. Please paraphrase. Obey the instructions. When writing, don't write too many words more than you have been asked to write. Please, don't read the text before the question. It's confusing and it will waste your time. So read the questions first, then go to the text, just like your multiple choice questions. Read the questions first before you go to the text. Check how many words you can write. If it says no more than 2, stick to it. Another thing is you need to know words that are hyphenated. Okay? Hyphenated words. You need to take note of them. If you're writing, for instance, state of the art. State of the art is one word if you are hyphenating it. But if you did not hyphenate, if you don't put those hyphens in between, you have 4 words together. So in a place where you are supposed to write state of the art theaters, which when hyphenated is 2 words, if you write state of the art without hyphens, theaters, is 5 words, and then you fail. Please pay very close attention to these details because they will help you. Sometimes it says using words from the text. If it says using words from the text, good and fine. Please use words from the text. If it does not state that, please use more of synonyms. Good thing about all of this is the fact that the questions and the answers will appear in the same order. For instance, if you have found the answer to number 4 in paragraph 3, line 2, don't go to paragraph 3, line 1 to look for the answer to number 5. They go hand in hand, all right? Remember that your answer should make sense grammatically. Check the type of words that fit in the space, whether it is a verb, a noun, an adjective, or an adverb. It will help you to answer correctly. When you scan for your answers, make sure that you're thinking about paraphrases and synonyms. From, experience as well, or practice, please, when you have numbers, okay, when you have, for instance, 7 is a number, 72 is a number, 340 is a number. It's not going to be 3 numbers, 3, 4, and 0, no, it is a number. So sometimes it is safer, okay, to write them in numbers if it has to do with numbers than writing the words. If you are writing 72, which is a number, 7 and 2, but you prefer to write 72 in words, you have 2 words. And if the answer is supposed to be a word or a number, you will miss it and you will fail, even though you have written the correct thing to say. Does it make sense to anybody? Please read the questions before you read the text. Read the instructions carefully. Note how many words. Read the incomplete sentences first, because in doing so, you will be getting the answers in your head, all right? Locate where your answer should be by scanning quickly. Once this is done, select your answers. Read the incomplete sentence again. When you have put in your answer, read it again to make sure that it makes sense to you grammatically. Check your spellings. Repeat the sentence again. Ensure that it is correct. Then go ahead and submit your work. Is that okay? Do you have any questions?
Hello, ma. Good evening, ma.
Good evening, Linda. You're welcome to the class.
I miss you since, ma. Hope you are good.
You refuse to come now. You refuse to come to class.
Don't mind me. It's work.
You didn't start me up.
Oh, sorry, ma. It's work.
Yeah,
Even as I'm at work now. Ma, I have a question.
Okay.
Sorry, ma. Sorry, ma. I have a question, ma. The
Go
question
ahead.
is that I'm always finding it difficult to get the right word in this sentence completion. It totally take me time. I'll look for it and look for it, look for it. I'm always finding it difficult to get the right answers to every question. That's it, ma'am.
Despite following the tips that you should use synonyms, it means that you don't have enough synonyms in your head. So you need to study. Yes, that's the truth. If you are to use synonyms and you're still not getting it, it means you don't have the synonyms. That's why you're not getting it. Okay? Look for more synonyms for your word. And the difficult aspect of it is that we don't know which word is coming out of your sentence completion. So we can't say what synonyms you must learn.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes,
we
ma'am.
can't say what synonym. It means that you need to make your basket of vocabulary very, very rich.
Okay.
By all means, you just need to study English language. You see, these people, they are very wise. English is their language, just like Igbo is your own. So, I mean, if I ask you to write this exam in Igbo or in Yoruba or in what language, let me see the people that are here. Urobo. Or I ask you to Edo language or where now, let me see. Or in Idoma, I'm seeing on your chair. And many other ones like that. Or in Hausa, okay? If I ask you to write in your language, you will write it well. Even though I know that many of us don't know how to write in our language. Don't know how to write things in your dialect, except to spell your dialect name. So we even spell it and still spell it wrongly. So English is their own mother tongue. They don't have another language. Any other language, any other dialect they learn is not their first. If you ask me to write in Igala, I know that I can write letters in Igala. I have my Igala Bible. I can do all of that. I will not make mistakes. I know what word, okay? If I ask you words in your language now for one particular thing, you know them many. So they too know many, and you are coming to interact with them. They just want you to be acculturated into their own way of life. That's why you must use these synonyms. That's why you must learn them by all means. I'm sorry, I cannot help you in that aspect. You need to help yourself. Okay, it's not a tip that I can give you. The only way I can help you is to tell you to keep managing, keep studying. Okay, and then, you know, the way to also do this thing is to practice more. Because when you have practiced many passages and you have been able to identify various synonyms, okay, when you come across these words, they will now be like more, they'll be soft for you to answer. They will be easier for you to come across, to see, to answer, to pick them. Okay, so sorry, Linda, you need to study more. I will send in more. I'm downloading these practices, okay, from online. Some of the sites we are paying for and subscribing to them. Some of them are actually free just with your data. So if you want to help yourself, you too, go on the internet. IELTS reading passages. You will see them many. Start searching. There are some you can't download. There are some you must do it while you are on their page because they want to create a traffic on their page. So in your free period, try to study, okay? In your free period, try to study, try to do the right thing, try to use your time to do these practices. If you have done many of it, you will now do, you come across one of them eventually. All right. So yes, Linda, the answer is to keep practicing, please.
Okay, ma. Thank you, ma.
Any other question? No other question. So we move on. Ibrahim, is that supposed to be your hand raising up for a question or what?
No question, no question.
Good. The next one we are going to be doing is summary completion. Just like we did sentence completion, we will do the summary completion as well. For summary completion, you have a whole summary given to you from a passage. They give you a summary of that passage, and then you are expected to complete the word just like sentence completion. But the difference is here is a summary of the entire passage, while in sentence completion is just some sentences that they have taken from the passage. In summary completion, like I said, you will be given a summary of information from the text, but they will put some gaps in between them. They will leave gaps, okay? We used to do that very well in primary and secondary school. This lexical whatever structure. All right. Your job is to insert those words in the gap. They will give you a list of words. That's one good thing with this one. They will give you a list of words, and they will expect you to insert the correct words in these gaps that they have left for you. Usually there are more words than you will need. So sometimes you can panic and say, I hope I have used the right words. I hope I have done the right thing. Don't worry if you have not used all the words, because there are more than you will need. Now, this kind of question is testing your ability to understand the general meaning of the summary, which is invariably the general meaning of the passage, okay? Your ability to also scan for the correct information in the text, and your ability to identify synonyms and paraphrases, because in their summary, it is synonyms and paraphrases that they will use to give you a summary of the passage. Commonly, we have some issues with this kind of questions. Now, they don't expect you to have a detailed understanding of the text, but some of us will want to understand everything. So it's a big problem if you waste so much time trying to understand everything about the summary, about the passage. Some people will read the summary and look for the exact same words in the text. You are unlikely to find these words because the examiners will use synonyms and paraphrases. One other mistake is also to ignore grammar rules. Please, your sentences, your summary, the entire summary must make sense grammatically. Your examiners want to trick you sometimes by putting a word from the text as one of the options, okay, in those passages. But you'll be surprised that when you bring it in, it makes the whole sentence or the whole summary not to be complete. It does not answer it correctly. So please don't be carried away by those distractors that your examiners will use, those words that are exact same from the passage, but when you bring them in, it does not make sense to you in the place where it's supposed to fit in. So be aware. What do? As you are reading this passage, you read the passage, you read the summary, try to predict the answers, okay? Predict the answer before you look at the options. This will help you to spot the correct answer. Now, you need to know if the gap where you are filling is to be completed with a noun, a verb, an adjective, or an adverb. You need to know if your answer makes sense grammatically. If it doesn't, then you are on the wrong track. Please look for synonyms and paraphrases rather than exact same words that will match directly. Do not spend too much time looking for answers to one particular question. I mean, I've said this over and over. When you are looking for a particular answer to one question, meanwhile, there are 4 or 5 answers that you would have found very easy when you leave that one. So leave it, go ahead, finish up, come back, and have it sorted. When you get a list, think about the ones that can't be correct because of the meaning or the grammar, so that you can eliminate those lists that you have gotten. So, what is the summary of our strategy? Read the questions carefully. Note how many words you are to use. Normally it's 1, 2, or 3 highest. And whether you are to get it from the passage or You have been given a list. Here you are usually given a list. That's one major difference between summary completion and sentence completion. If you have a list of words, please, sometimes you find out that there are 2 or 3 options that look as if they are correct. Bring them side by side. Check why one is not right. Check why the rest are incorrect. You need to check them very well. And you will only find this out when you bring them in and they don't make sense usually grammatically, or they change the entire meaning of the whole thing. Okay? So check to see if your words that you have written make sense, and then go ahead and mark your answers. With that, we have come to the end of the types of questions that you will see. There are usually 8 of them. Okay, we have matching heading. No, we have multiple choice questions, matching heading, matching information, summary completion, sentence completion. We have labeling of a diagram, and we have true, false, not given, and we have yes, no, not given. We have treated 4 of them last week, and now we have treated the remaining of them today. Any question on any of these types of reading that you may see, the question types, before we move in to do a task in this class, or to check what we have been doing rather? Questions, please, on any of the types of questions. Yes, Onyeche, go ahead.
Please, my question is on the sentence completion,
Yep.
because that is where I actually spend more time
Okay.
looking for the area where they say get from the passage to complete. So I always spend more time there looking for the word that will match.
So what is the problem there? You need to identify what your problem is. It's not just saying that you have a problem with sentence completion or is it sentence completion or summary of completion?
Sentence completion. About the summary, both of them.
Okay, just give me a minute to go through this on YouTube. All right, thank you very much, Lois. I'll try there. Yes, please. Chinwe, we have answered this already in the class. I'm just trying to, involve you people, even though you're on YouTube, as much as possible in this class. We have answered it already, that you should choose one of them to use. If you decide to use lowercase, please go with lowercase. If you decide to use uppercase, please go with uppercase. Someone in this class has said that he watched a video where the person told them to use, if they can use capital letter for names, beginning of it, and for proper nouns. I suggest that you choose one, because I do not know anyone that has done that and passed or failed. So I don't have that experience, but I have an experience of someone who have used lower cases all through, which is myself, and a friend of mine who had used upper cases all through, who has passed the IELTS exam. So I can only speak from the angle that I know. Please use, there's no harm in using any of these, is there? Choose to use one of them, please. But if you decide to go otherwise, I don't know, because I've not used it. The choice is entirely up to you. Thank you very much, Chinwe. No, in your writing text, please use proper writing. As in where you are supposed to start a proper noun with capital letter and all of that, do it. Your paragraphing, your writing complete. The only instruction for writing is you can decide to use a pencil or a pen. Many people advise to use a pen because somebody can actually erase your work if you had written with a pencil, okay, and say you didn't write it correctly. There's nothing you can do. But nobody can cancel your work if you had written with a pen. So I advise people to write with a pen, but they can tell you to either use, the instruction is you can use a pen or a pencil. I've not seen any other instruction for writing about lowercase or uppercase. It's proper writing, isn't it? So all the rules of writing should be inclusive. If, oh God, sharing now. Okay, I'll try and see if I can copy, and I don't know if Mr. Tunde is watching or hearing us. Maybe he will help us. If not, I'll try and do that. Okay. Let me see if I can actually. That's one reason why we encourage you to join. Okay, so I have sent the link now. The link to the Telegram group. What happens with the Telegram group is that you join the Telegram group and then you follow the instruction. You are supposed to register, okay, for the Zoom classes. If you want to join the Zoom classes, you register for it. And you follow the video on how to go about it, please. Stop sending private messages asking for how to join when actually the instruction is on there. Please, it's tiring, you know, having to answer everyone individually. That's the reason why you have the instruction there already. We have listening classes. We have listening classes on YouTube already. Elizabeth, if you can go through that, they've all been labeled, I think. Check the labels for listening classes and you will find it there. I've sent the link. I think that's basically all for those on Telegram. I've been able to answer your question. Thank you for joining us today. If you do have further questions, just drop them. If I can't answer them now, I will go back to them later. There's no moderator on the YouTube except we come to check what is happening there and then answer you, because we are running the class on Zoom concurrently with the one that is streaming live on YouTube. So sorry about that. Okay. Onyeche, a beauty.
Yes, ma.
Summary completion. Sentence completion. Sentence completion, summary completion. What did I say about it? Can you tell me what my part of my strategy? I just discussed that with us now. So if you tell me a little
Yes,
bit
ma.
of what you know, I will know where your problem is.
Okay, mom said we should look for synonyms and also look for instruction that they gave. And then if there is no instruction, we should make sure the sentence is making sense. So, ma.
I can hear you, my dear. Go ahead.
Okay. So, but for the ones I've been practicing, they all have instructions. But I don't know. And then
Yes, you can't.
like
Sorry. They all have instructions, and the instruction is saying what?
Like pick not more than 2 words, or pick not more than 1 word. Like the test we did 2 weeks ago, on Saturday 2 weeks ago.
Continue.
A word that was picked out of it as the answer.
I don't understand. You were breaking up.
I'm like,
you were breaking up, so I couldn't hear you correctly.
Okay.
I think it's the network. Beauty.
They were all a word, just 1 word.
Yes, if they are all 1 word, it's correct. If they say not more than 2 words, it means that 1 word is correct, 2 words are correct. Okay? So where is the problem? I don't understand exactly. Maybe I'm misunderstanding you. I don't understand where exactly you want me to come in here. You have
like I find it difficult locating the answer in the passage.
Okay. Now
I will keep reading and keep reading.
Okay, in locating your answers, you need to be more on the lookout for synonyms. You can't, you will not see the exact same word, except they say the exact same word. And if they say the exact same word, that way it will be easy for you to locate, isn't it? That you're not locating and getting the correct answer means that you should be on the lookout for more synonyms than exact same word. So here, the problem you have now is getting the synonyms for your answers. It means that you need to improve on your vocabularies, okay? The reason I'm talking like this is because I do not know exactly what the passage you're talking about is, so I can't give you the synonyms. You are the one who is seeing the passage. You are the one who should form or know the synonyms in your head. So you need to practice. Now that you have failed those ones, bring it to you, underline the keywords that are there. You go out, search for the synonyms on your phone, okay, on your computers. Search for the synonyms of these identified keywords. If you have known this one, then go and do another one. Then you can now repeat the same this thing for anyone that comes your way. That way, you are building your vocabulary and you are increasing your basket of synonyms. Is that okay?
Yes, ma.
That's
Another thing, ma, please.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, I sent you some message on Telegram. I don't know if you have seen it.
You need to stop sending me private messages on Telegram, because one thing is, if you are not, if I don't have your contact, say that's what I've discovered. I thought that it was not like that. If I don't have your contact saved, okay, I won't be able to get a notification of your message. I'll just see new message. You just see you have new message. And if I don't get the time, I may not be able to. I have loads of messages on Telegram and on Messenger that I'm trying to sort. So I may not see it as priority. Now you can send your question into the group or send a mail. If you send a mail, I'm more inclined to the mail side now. Send a mail to the IELTS oversee nurses Gmail address, and you may get your answers correct. I'll have a look and see if I've seen it. I will attend to it. Okay.
All right, ma. Thank you so much, ma.
You're welcome. For anyone who is finding it difficult to hear when you have joined this class, it is because when you were trying to join, there's something that will come up for you, highlighted in blue. It will tell you to join with audio. If you don't click on it, you will join the class, but you can't hear anything. That's what happened to you, Juliet. I'm sure you have resolved it. I was coming to that before I saw you come on. So now I'm sure that you can hear me now, because I can see that you can hear me. Yeah, you can hear now, isn't it? So please, any other question? Now, concerning the question that we did in on Telegram, I need to go there, get the document, and yeah, let's see. On Telegram, many of you had issues with answering those questions. So can you identify the area where you had issues? Let's go to them and sort it. Now, unmute and talk now, or forever be silent. Ibrahim, where are the people that had issues with? Many of us did not even do it. So if you did it and you had problems, okay, identify the place now. Let's solve it.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I've opened the reading test 3, ma'am.
Reading test 3. I need to open it on my computer too. Sorry. Sorry. No, we keep learning on these things every day. So reading test 3. Test 3, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. What number?
Number 23.
Okay. Okay, so 23 is a sentence completion, a summary completion, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So complete the following summary of the paragraph, reading passage. Paragraphs of the reading passage using no more than 4 words. This is rare. It's just a practice though, but it's rare before you see questions like saying 4 words from the reading passage for each answer. Write your answers in boxes 21 to 25. Words from the reading passage. Here they are telling you from the reading passage. It means that there's no word for you to select or choose from. Is that not okay?
Yes.
So number 3, the answer, Professor Seligman countered in an evolution theory, survival in a time of adversity forged our brains into the way of thinking. Can we see my, oh God, I've not shared this screen. I need to share the screen. Sorry about that. Where is it? So that everybody can see. Can we see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, so we need to go back to what side of the passage.
Okay, actually, the problem is before the dash here, we have A, but in the answer again, they wrote A, catastrophic brain.
No, you forget about the A. Just write catastrophic brain.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that the answer that you sent had a catastrophic brain.
You see this A that is highlighted?
Yes.
Is there because it's part of the answer already.
Oh, okay.
It's highlighted, isn't it? Can you see?
Yeah.
Because it is part of the answer already. So if it says a catastrophic brain, it's okay. I mean, if you were to write in this thing, you are not going to write a catastrophic brain, isn't it?
Okay.
So you just select that answer. The answer is catastrophic brain.
Okay.
So it's a catastrophic brain in that passage, in the answers that you will see. Is that all?
I don't know if there's another one person that has any issue, but if you can go to number 9 also.
Number 9. Number 9, let me see. Now it's good. I'm trying to scroll, and this mouse will not move. Now 14. Number what is this one here? My mouse is temperamental. It's a new one. Okay, so number 9.
Okay.
Fill in the blank spaces, no more than. So these blank spaces you are filling in, what type of question is this, please?
Sentence completion.
Okay. No more than 3 words and or a number from the passage for each question of robot below. Number 9, the robotic fly's main structure outside is made of and long and thin. So if we go to the part of the question, of the passage, sorry, see it, you see this? The robotic fly's main structure outside is made of what? Outside is made of what? Airfold, Ibrahim, what is the answer on it?
Yeah, okay. The answer there was carbon fiber. But what was in the passage was not just carbon fiber, it was black carbon fiber struts.
So, and they said not more than 3 words
Three
and or
words.
a number.
Yeah, the carbon fiber is a word.
It's one word because it's hyphenated.
Yes.
So, which answer did you choose?
Black carbon fiber struts.
That will be 3 words.
Yes, ma'am.
So, do you think it's correct?
I'm not very sure. Just want a confirmation.
I think it's correct.
Okay.
Okay. If we say it's made up of carbon fiber and a long thin wires, which make it unlike. So if you had written carbon fibers, I will mark it correctly if I'm to mark. Some of these things are computers, isn't it?
Yes,
They are
ma'am.
computer whatever. So I will personally mark it right if you had written carbon fiber or carbon fiber struts or whatever you called it. It's in the passage, okay, not
Yes,
more
ma'am.
than 3 words. If you are still within the word limit and you have gotten the word that is there, even if it's one word that they have written, I think you will get it correctly.
Yes, ma'am. Noted, ma'am.
And this should be like a correction to any other whatever, except you got the spelling wrong. That's where your answer will be wrong.
Okay.
If you are within the word limit, I mean, that's the reason why you have word limit, isn't it? So you
Yes.
have word limit. If you are within the word limit, then you can do all of that. This is a PDF file. I wish that is something I can play. I would have played this for us all to do. So my advice is go back from, let me see. Stop share. How many people did that reading? Okay. How many of us do not need help with reading? I mean, you know yourself that you are good with reading. You don't have any problem with reading. Let me see your hand. Nobody. So how do you want to improve when you don't practice? It's not enough for me to come here and tell you what is in my brain. It's in my own brain. If I'm writing the IELTS exam now, by God's grace, I will pass. So it's for me to use. And I'm sharing with you because I want you to use them. Have them in your own brain too and use them. So you come to the class and then we send in work for you to do and you are not doing it. So how do you want to improve? Tell me. Omolola? Omolola, you did not do the reading passage. Can you tell me why?
Hello, ma. The exam on Saturday.
Not the exam on Saturday. There was a reading assignment I sent.
I did, but hello, ma. I did, but I didn't finish it.
You did, but you didn't finish. It means you didn't do it.
I'll complete it. I'm at work. That's why, ma.
If we go all out to teach you, and then we bring in, we download materials and bring them for you to practice with, and you don't practice with, let's talk as a family. How do you want to excel? How do you want to pass? I mean, if you don't have any problem with that, no problem at all. It's good. It means that you're doing very well on that, and I'll be happy. But if you think you need help, yet you are not doing the practices, I'm afraid, I don't know, how do you want to, I don't get, okay, maybe you people can, let's talk now. How do you want us to help you? If we come and we read it out to you, I give you what is in my brain, and I say, go and practice, let's even see whether you understand what we are explaining, and you are not doing it, what do you want us to do? Everybody here is on the Telegram group. Go and download that work, the reading activity I sent. It's there on the Telegram group. There are 2 of them, 4 and 3. Download them, download the answer. Do it, send in your scores between now and the next class. If you don't send in your scores between now and the next class, it means you are not serious and there's no point for you to be in this class.
Ma, please, where is the reading test?
Linda,
Yes, ma.
do you need hearing aids?
I'm at work now.
Okay, I didn't know you're at work. It's
I'm
on
at
the
work.
Telegram group.
Okay, ma. Okay, ma. I would do that, ma.
Okay, Ibrahim, are you still saying anything?
Yes, Maria, true, ma.
Ekondu, you are just eating. And me, I'm hungry. I want to eat Nigerian food and you are there swallowing. This is injustice. It's not fair.
Sorry, ma.
Eh? I'm just joking. So yes, if we don't practice, really, there's nothing we can do. People are on the YouTube group and they want to join this class because they see that they miss the practices. If you are, that is here, you are not doing the practice, I'm afraid there's no way I can help you because I can't give you my brain to go and write IELTS with and come back. I wish I can. I'll just distribute it, give you part of it, you write your own, bring it back. Next Saturday, another person use it, and then we will write and write. But it's not possible. You and I know that it's not possible. Okay, yes, ma, go ahead.
Okay, but anytime
Ma? I can't hear
my
you.
question is this.
Can you type your question?
Email address you get to us, the email address, the overseas nurses. Okay, I've done that already.
Can you type in your question? I can't hear you.
Okay, ma.
Click the button to download and get started.
So I want to see where is her question. Each time I send you an email, it will show that your email address does not exist. Really? Which of the email addresses? Okay, so IELTS. Now I'm typing it. IELTS at gmail.com. Let me confirm that. Let me confirm that. There's something I want to share so that we can use this remaining time to do it. I hope it works. So, yes, overseeing nurses, IELTS at gmail.com. I've just sent it now, okay? Vera, you can copy that and use. Let's see, maybe you got a letter or a word there wrongly or something. Maybe that's why. Okay. I'm just going to mute for a couple of seconds and see something. I'm trying to add something for us to do in the next couple of minutes. If there's no other question, that's good. But yes, Linda, are you talking? Geraldine, are you asking a question?
No, ma.
Okay, if you are not, then you have to be unmuted. I mean, you have to be muted. Because we have finished with this reading, I'm not going to talk about reading for the next couple of classes, but we will go back to it again. I just need you people to do some assignments that I will send. And seriously, I'm taking it serious. If you will not do those assignments, then you are going to run into trouble with me. So please do your assignments. Do your assignments so that we will not fight. Okay? If not, we are going to be fighting. Because there's really no need, really. I don't see any use why you will be coming and you will not practice. I'm searching for something for you because I didn't prepare for this. If not, I would have made it ready before now. Amaka has left. I wanted to ask her how her speaking test went. So, but obviously she has gone. Can I play this one for you people? I hope I can play it. I can't. Can't play to the class on here. Oh dear. Redo. Okay, so let's see. Oh God. Why is it doing that? Well, I've tried my best and it looks like it's not working. We cannot play directly. I'll play from the other side for you. That will be after that correction, when you send in your work, after that correction. Or you want us to just do a class activity, I will open one and everybody will be reading. But the problem is you may not be at the same place at the same time, the same page at the same time. So sharing the screen, I will have to time it and just go back to it. And we've got 30 minutes. I still want to do this class for 30 minutes. Well, I've tried, it's not working. Two people are raising their hands. What do you want to say? You are raising your hands. Joseph.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello, ma. Good
No,
evening.
that
It's
was a
Janet,
mistake. I
ma.
wasn't raising my hand. It was a mistake.
I was the one raising my hand. It's Janet, ma.
Okay, go ahead, Janet. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, ma. Thank you for that wonderful class, ma. I'm just joining this class for the first time, ma. Hello, ma.
You're welcome. Should we ring the bell
Yeah.
for you? Let's clap for her, first timer. You're welcome. Janet, you are welcome to the class.
Not necessary, ma.
Oh dear.
Not necessary, ma. I just want to ask that
Janet, we can hardly hear you. Can you type your question? Type it to all. Can you just type your question in the chat? Janet, you should type your question to the house as a question. Just type it to everyone. Then we can answer you. Just type it because we can't hear you now.
All right. Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yes, you can have for Stella Obieze. If you go to our YouTube, yes, the YouTube channels, previous classes are there for you to watch. And if you go to the Telegram group, I think it was about 4 or 5 days ago, from Saturday, I can't remember the exact day I sent it, maybe Sunday. The practice that we're talking about is there. There are 2 reading practices there, and the answers are there. Go ahead, do them, and then mark yourself. Then identify areas where you need help, and we can take it up from there. Okay? So generally today, I've been trying to do a few things and it's not working. Today we have talked about reading. Reading passage is academic IELTS reading, really. In this kind of question, this kind of the reading module itself, you are expected to answer 40 questions in 60 minutes, meaning that you have less than 2 minutes for each question. Okay, there are usually maybe between 2,000 to 2,750 words. Okay, and these texts are taken from different areas of interest. They are taken from different areas of interest. Okay, I'm saying something. He's sending something that may be of help. Let me see. Oh dear. Okay, no. Okay, so you don't need to panic. Maybe you see rocks, you see history, you see things, and you are like thinking, I'm not a history student. How do I answer these questions? No, you don't have to panic when you see the reading passages. Just go ahead because it's a reading test and not your knowledge of that particular thing. Now, in the reading text, there are various types of questions that you will find. We have been able to identify 8 of them. We have the multiple choice questions. Okay, multiple choice question, that's where you are given options to choose from. Sometimes you have 4 options to choose one, you have 5 options to choose 2, at other times there are 6 options to choose 3. The most common of them all is the 4 options to choose one from. Usually it is very, very bulky, but part of the strategy for you to overcome this or to score a good band is that you should read the questions before you read the passage. Read the questions before you read the passage. If you go ahead and read the text before you read the question, you are reading blindly and you may have to come back again after reading the question. So you read the question before you read the passage, all right? Your answers are usually in the same order. They're usually in the same order. So if you find the answer to number 1 in paragraph 2, line 1, don't go back to paragraph 1 to look for the answer to number 2. Please, there are many distractors that your examiners will use. Don't let them distract you, especially with keywords, because you are most likely to be seeing synonyms and paraphrases. All right? So what is the overall strategy for MCQs? Read the questions first, read them carefully, skim through to get the general meaning, underline any keywords that you see, okay? Read your choices and underline keywords also in those choices. Be able to predict your answer even before you read them. Go back and read them again. Read the passage very carefully and pick your answer. The second kind of question that you will find is matching heading. Matching heading is where you are asked to match, a heading to a particular to paragraphs. You are asked to maybe give a paragraph a name. And we used our writing passage, our writing essay, okay, as an example last week. And I'm still going to use that to explain this. I said that in your writing task 2, you have 4 paragraphs. Writing task 2, the structure is for you to end with 4 paragraphs. The first one is your introduction, then your body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and your conclusion. That's for writing task 2. Your introduction is made up of your general statement and your specific statement. Your general statement is the paraphrase of the question prompt, while your specific statement is the assignment, the task that you have been given to do. They can ask you whether to agree or disagree. They can ask you whether to write both sides and opinion. They can ask you to answer both sides, where we have a 2-question essay. All right, that will be your specific statement. So bringing these two together will give you an introduction. In your reading test now, for instance, you have these 4 paragraphs as the paragraph you have been given as your text in your reading. They want you to give paragraph 1 a heading. Paragraph 1 is going to be called introduction. All right, it's going to be called introduction. So that is how matching heading works. Paragraph 2, for instance, is where you have your first body paragraph. Here in your first body paragraph, if, for instance, you have been asked a 2-question essay where they say there has been an increase, all right, in the use of computers for learning. Now, they will tell you, the question will now be, write on the consequences, okay, maybe let's say one of them, the effect, what effect will it have? The consequences. Okay, write on the disadvantages and advantages of studying with a computer. Yes. So in your first body paragraph, which is your paragraph 2 in this writing now, is going to be talking about the advantages of computers in learning. Your second body paragraph will be talking about the disadvantages, the demerits, okay, or the negatives of computers in learning. Then your last paragraph, which is your conclusion, will be a summary of your points 1 and 2, okay, of the advantages and the disadvantages. That is what, if you have a 2-question essay, that's what it's going to be talking about. So now you have your introduction, okay, which is telling us that with the paraphrase of whatever question prompt you have been given with your specific statement. First body paragraph, they're asking you to give it a name. The name or the tag or the topic for your first body paragraph will be advantages, or advantages of online learning, or advantages of learning with computers. That will be the topic. So that's what matching heading does. Matching heading is expecting you to understand the overall meaning of the paragraph, okay, and give it a tag, give it a name, give it a topic, give it a heading. Now, they will give you some headings. These headings can be a word, it can be 2 words, it can be a phrase. Okay, so the headings are short sentences that summarize the information in that paragraph. That's how matching heading works. What do you do when you have matching heading? Should you undo matching heading? If you see this kind of question, do it first. The reason is because when you do it first, it gives you a total understanding of what the whole passage is about. That way, the other questions that are related to this same passage becomes easier for you because you already have a background knowledge of what this passage is about. Number 2, don't look at the headings first. Read the passage and give it your own heading so that when you see the heading, you will now know, you'll be able to relate it directly and more correctly, more accurately for you to choose. Read the first 2 sentences and the last 2 sentences. Please do not read the first sentence. It will give you the whole idea. No, it won't give you the whole idea. The beginning and the conclusion of a paragraph will give you the main idea of that paragraph. So read the beginning and the concluding part of that paragraph for you to have an idea, because it is very bulky. So you need to develop this strategy. Identify keywords in the headings and look for the synonyms of these keywords in your write-up. You will definitely see some headings that are very obvious, so match those ones first. And you may also see headings that 2 headings seems to be the correct answer for one particular paragraph. How do you solve this problem? Bring both of them side by side, all right, with the paragraph, and see whether there's a phrase, there's a noun, there's an adverb, there's something about one of them that makes it incorrect. The next one is matching information. Matching information, similar to matching heading. I want you to do this one last So you do matching heading first, do matching information last. Matching information here is asking you to match statements to paragraphs, okay, in the reading text. You are matching statements. That's where you have examples like maybe some people are supporting or making like a hypothesis about something or making suggestions about something, and they now give you the topics. They tell you those people, their names and whatever they have said. That's where you will find it is in matching information. You may not need to understand everything, okay, but here you need to understand the meaning of those statements for you to get the answers correctly. What will be your strategies or your tips? What will be your strategies or your tips for matching information? In matching information, the strategy should be that you should read the instructions very carefully, read the questions first, just like your multiple choice question. Read the question statements again, predict your own answer from the paragraphs even before you go and match. That way, it will help you. If there's anything you don't know, please leave it and move forward. We talked about labeling of a diagram. Labeling of a diagram, you will see different types of diagram. It could be nature, it could be a machine, like a technical drawing or something. It could be a design or a plan. In the example that we tried to see that Ibrahim showed us, we saw the labeling of a diagram for that was a robot, okay, and it has to do with an invention, isn't it? So you can see that you either say an invention, a machine, something from the natural world or from nature, a design, a plan, or anything. Here, you need to identify how many words you are allowed to use. You study the diagram to understand the general meaning of it, but please do not spend too much time on it. Highlight the keywords, okay, and the labels that are there. That way you'll be able to get synonyms for these things and use them accurately. Identify the type of word that is required, whether it is a noun, a pronoun, an adverb, an adjective, whatever it is, or even a number. You need to identify that. Then you scan the text and identify where the information is located. Read in more details again and correctly check your spellings. Please check your spellings. We discussed sentence completion, and we have done an example as well. For your sentence completion, I know there are various problems that one may have with sentence completion, but the strategy, okay, or the tip is for you to read the instructions carefully, note how many words, note what kind of words, okay? Read the incomplete sentences first. That way you'll be able to predict your answer, check for the answers, put them in, make sure it makes sense grammatically, check your spellings, and that's it. Summary completion is similar, but summary is the summary of the whole passage, the text. It's a summary of the text, okay? And the way you can easily get the answer is for you to also predict. After reading the passage, you predict the answers before you look at the options. Here you will be given some options for you to put in, like fill in the gap or something. All right. Look for synonyms and paraphrases rather than with looking for exact words. Okay. You need to identify what kind of word is filling in that gap. Is it a noun? Is it a pronoun? Is it an adverb or an adjective or a verb? You need to understand that. Okay. And then your work must make sense grammatically. We have done yes, no, not given, true, false, not given. The answer is true if the text agrees with or confirms the information in the text, in the statement. It is false if it contradicts or it is the opposite. And it is not given if you cannot find that information or it is impossible for you to know. All right? It is impossible for you to know. Now, if you have been asked to do a true, false, not given, please don't write TF or NG. Write it in full. If you have been asked to do a true, false, not given, please do not write yes, no, not given. Please. Right, you need to identify whether it is true, false, not given or yes, no, not given, so you can know your answer options. Okay? Reading is easy. I don't know if writing section has been tackled. That's the area we need much help. Yes, we have tackled writing section before. We have plenty material. I mean, many videos on writing is on our YouTube page. If you go to the YouTube page, you'll find them there. And in the course of this class, we are still going to do them. All right, we'll still do them. Meanwhile, help yourself. Go to the YouTube channel and watch the writing tasks. All right. I have looked at the reading test 4 already, Ibrahim. I was trying to see if we can do it, but I can't bring the questions, the passages side by side on my system. I'm trying to do that. It's a PDF form, and for some of these things, you cannot edit their work. You can't do anything about it. But I'm trying to see if I can download an app that can bring them side by side, because if we don't have it side by side, there's no way we are going to be able to tackle it, since everybody does not have the question with them. That is where the problem is. I'm trying to draw out a strategy. I'll speak with Mr. Tunde and see if there's anything we can do about that to help. Any other question? Okay, Stella Obieze, you are welcome to the class. It's your first time in this class. You are welcome. We hope that you will be successful at the end of these classes with your IELTS exam. We will be closing very shortly. One thing I want to talk about is the issue of fear. Many of you have been attending these classes for months. I've been seeing some faces here for months, and you are not in any way ready to attempt these exams. It's not because of money. I've spoken with some of you personally, and I know that it's not because of the money, but because you are afraid, okay, of what will be the outcome. The truth is, if you don't write, you will not know, will you? If you don't write, you will not know. I have shared the Telegram link already. If you come into a group, please try and check what has been said there before, so that you ask questions that are very relevant, and you won't make mistakes at the end of the day. Tips for writing. We have done writing before, Ukachukwu. You can please check on the YouTube channel for writing, and then watch out also for our classes that will be coming up again on writing. I don't know when. I have just done that now. Folashade, I hope you understand better now. You need to join the Telegram group. I have shared the link. Queen Okoroleju, you will find the Telegram group link that I've shared. I'm sharing it again. Please go to that place, check it, register, join the Telegram group. That way, if you register for the Zoom classes, you can now join us live if you want to. With this, I want to encourage you that if you keep attending these classes without attempting the exam, you are not doing yourself any good. You need to write the exam for you to know how far you have gone. And some of us here are very good, and you'll be surprised that you pass the exam at a sitting. That's what we want. Is there still any question at the end of this explanation? Do you still have any question? If there's no question, we'll be bringing the class to a close. Any question? No question. We are not going to be doing reading in a very long while. So please go to the YouTube channels and go through the videos on reading, writing, listening, speaking. If you need any help with them, you can identify and we'll go over them again. Other than that, I am bringing this class to a close now, and I say do have a lovely day today. Bye-bye for now.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma.
All right.
Thank